When I first came to Northern Ireland, County Down, little did I know that my father would be taking his last journey, his final journey. From a strong, loving, thoughtful man with Yorkshire genes, living life to the full and still working full time. He was a true Christian in the sense of the word. He was gentle, he was kind, and he was humane, and he did not suffer fools. He knew what he wanted, and he tried to go out and get it and provide for his family, keeping us all safe. He was a big man to me, very big. And as a child, he would carry me on his shoulders, and I used to hold on to his ears. And for some unknown reason, I called them his aches. These were his aches. His love, though, was engines. Any engine. In fact, my brother told me when I was really little that it was oil that ran through his veins, and I believed him. I really believed him. He joined the RAF and flew many, many aeroplanes, different types, in World War II. But it was an engineer that he excelled, patching them up, keeping them flying. Those including Douglas Bader and Peter Townsend. And he even helped bury Guy Gibson VC's beautiful black Labrador when he was killed on the road. He boxed for the RAF, and I still have his trophies, which I treasure. He served all over Great Britain and in Egypt. He never missed Remembrance Sunday, ever. He loved dirt bike riding and competed many times, even mastering the wall of death. In the 50s, he built a car from scratch. We called it Moggy. He always gave names to his cars. He built it in his garage, which was an amazing place. It had a place for everything, and everything had its place. He used to have me out there bleeding brakes on cars. Not that I really knew anything about them, but we'd talk, and they were good memories. We had a few more cars after that, and a caravan, until he got his beloved Land Rover, which was just on screen, PAC 75. I still have it. We had great holidays. And you know, we always stopped if somebody was broken down, and he would get out of his car with his toolbox and he would go and help them if he could. And he was even awarded Knight of the Road from the News of the World. He loved his freedom and his independence, and he loved the open road. When I was 12 years old, we were on holiday, and he saw a trip to the war graves in France. So off we went. Poor Mum stayed in the caravan with the dog. But I was amazed, so amazed on that journey. And I'll never forget it. And still to this day, I visit war cemeteries wherever I go. Do you know, I never heard my parents argue, ever. I came home from school once and said to them, "Why don't you argue?" And Mum said, "Well, why do you want to know?" And I said, "Well, I'd have something to talk about at school. Everybody else talks about their parents arguing." He was a wonderful man. He enjoyed his grandsons, and they were in the Cubs. So he went into his garage and he got himself an easel and he made a flip chart. And the Cubs group used to come once a week for some time. And he just absolutely adored it. He really did. I now realise how lucky I was to have such a wonderful family, a wonderful father, such beautiful memories, and I treasure them. I still have all his books with his photographs in. He loved photography, and I even have up there, I don't know if you can see, there it is, plane crashed. I still have it there, hanging on the wall. In the winter he had a fall and ended up in hospital. And unfortunately, he was diagnosed with motor neurone. I'd only ever seen my father sick twice, once in 1959 with malaria, which was really scary, and then in 1967 with pneumonia. He and we had no understanding of the disease, no understanding of motor neurone whatsoever, no idea what the prognosis would be. And the awful thing was, the doctors didn't seem to be any help whatsoever. There was no Google, no internet. We couldn't just pick up the phone or pick up the computer mouse and take a look and see what was going to happen. We just didn't know. He was hospitalised a few times. He never complained. He never lost his sense of humour. He spent his last holiday with us in Northern Ireland, which he absolutely adored. He said it was like coming home, because where he was from Yorkshire was Bronte country, and this was Bronte country too. I'm now nearing the age of my father when he passed, and I understand better now how he felt. We watched him fade away, reduced to a 6-stone skeleton. It was for him an agonising journey, his strength seeping away, unable to do the smallest of things. He was wheelchair bound, trapped in a useless body. My mother was his carer and his rock. He had his voice to the very end, so we spent a lot of time talking. And he said to me one day, if I were a dog, I would be put out of my misery. He left us in 1990 on the 15th of February, 12:15, weeks away from his 80th birthday. He was cremated and his ashes were scattered over the runway of Biggin Hill Aerodrome, where he served in his last squadron, 605. Great memories, good memories, such good memories, but a bad death, a very bad death. Like my father, I'd not want anyone to suffer the way he did. The word of the 20th century was rights. Let's make the word of the 21st century choice. The world's moved on. Please support us. And the right choice for the terminally. Thank you so very much for listening.